Are you ready to introduce a cup to your baby and wondering how and when and why to do this, and what cup to use and which cup not to use? Looking at you, sippy cup. This episode's all for you.
Welcome to the Beehive Doc Talks with Dr. Blair Rolnick. As a pediatrician and mother herself, Dr. Rolnick is here to answer your most pressing parenting questions and guide you through the tough spots.
Welcome back to Be Kind Pediatrics. For those of you who are new to the show, my name is Dr. Blair Rolnick. I'm a board-certified pediatrician and mom myself. Today, I want to talk about one of my absolute favorite topics, and that is introducing a cup. And so usually I'm having this conversation with my parents and patients around the 6-month visit. And parents are always so shocked that they can introduce a cup, and we have lots of things to talk about how to do this appropriately and in the way that's best for your child. So most children around the 6-month mark are sitting upright with either no or minimal support. The vast majority of them are bringing their hands to midline, to the center, and putting objects in their mouth. So just the motion we need to drink from a cup. But when I say you can start introducing a cup to your child, most parents immediately go to Amazon and they Google baby or toddler cup, and thousands of different cups come up, most of which are sippy cups. So let's talk a little bit about what I mean about using a cup and how to do this. So I tell parents and I encourage them to use an open mouth cup. It does not have to be anything fancy. It can be a little 6-ounce tiny cup. It doesn't necessarily need those little toddler grips. Babies can actually grip a cup with no handles very nicely with practice. And this is all about practice. Between 6 and 12 months, your baby is just learning the skill of drinking from an open mouth cup, so that at the 12-month visit, when we talk about dropping the bottle, they have those skill set to use an open mouth cup already in place. So there should be no pressure on what if they don't take what's in the cup, what if they don't master the open mouth cup skill by the 8-month visit. This is a really gradual process where you're just getting them familiar with the cup. The other reason that I really recommend doing this around the 6-month visit is because 6-month-olds are still not that scared of other people or objects. And so they're still willing to explore new things and new skills. Versus when you get into that 12, 14, 18-month range, they start to have a lot more free will, and they might not willingly take that open mouth cup from you. The best way to do this, like I said, is to get an open mouth cup, a very small one. I recommend stainless steel because it is more bacterial static. So it grows less bacteria than other products such as silicone. Glass is another great bacteriostatic option, but not great for a 6-month-old or a toddler because they're just going to throw that cup and we don't want it to be glass. So stainless steel is a really nice option because it's both durable and it's very easy to keep clean, and it does not promote the growth of bacteria. While silicone is the second best option, it's a little bit softer and more porous, and so it allows for a little bit more bacterial growth. So a nice stainless steel 6-ounce open mouth cup is the way to go. We have great options on our Amazon storefront, which I just put together for open mouth stainless steel baby cups. I usually recommend that you start with water. You absolutely can put breast milk or formula in there if you want. But for the first couple months, there's going to be lots and lots of spills and accidents, and water is just easier to clean up. And again, we're not giving them the cup with the goal of them getting nutrition through this source of feeding. It's really for practice right now. So a nice couple ounces, 2 or 3 ounces of water in an open mouth steel cup is a great way to start. When they start to master that skill, or if you're comfortable cleaning up formula breast milk, go ahead. But I hate to see wasted breast milk. So please consider starting with water instead of your very precious breast milk. You want to offer them the cup 3 times a day with meals and twice a day with snacks. So you don't want to have them get into the habit of having fluid all day long because it promotes selective and picky eating, but it also promotes poor eating habits. So especially if you're going to be putting formula or breast milk in there, we don't want to encourage what we call that grazing behavior by this age. We really want children and babies to get used to the feeling of being hungry and then both being full, as opposed to just kind of having snacks grazing all day long and never feeling hungry nor full. So 3 times a day plus 2 snacks. Whenever you offer them solids, you can accompany it with a little baby stainless steel open mouth cup of water. Other ways to kind of tips and tricks to promote using an open mouth cup is you want to model that behavior yourself. So when you're sitting with your child during their snack or mealtime, also drink from an open mouth cup so they can see you doing it and they learn from that behavior. Try to be patient. Be patient with yourself and your baby. This is a new skill. They're most definitely going to spill it. It will get frustrating, but it will get better as time goes on. Offer positive reinforcement. So if they do pick up the cup and get it to their mouth, clap for them, get really excited and cheer them on. Babies love to please their parents, and so they find that really motivating. Stay consistent. Don't switch back and forth between the open mouth cup and the bottle and the sippy cup. Consistently offer them 3 times a meal plus 2 snacks, that little tiny open mouth cup. And then lastly, but probably most importantly, I would recommend avoiding to put in juice and other sugary drinks into the open mouth cup. It's both bad for their dental health, but it's also bad for their growth. Sugary drinks tend to be really filling for children, and so they will fill up on that juice, and then they will not eat their nutritious, solid food, which is providing them with the adequate micronutrients they need for both their brain growth and their overall growth. So try to just stick with water, breast milk, or formula if your baby is under 12 months old. And if they're over 12 months, either water or milk, ideally just water. So I told you all about what type of cup to use. Let's talk about the types of cups to not use. So I really strongly recommend that parents stay away from the traditional sippy cup. And the reason for that is the way that you get fluid into your mouth with a sippy cup is by a sucking motion. So sippy cups were actually developed by an engineer father for parents to have a cup that doesn't spill so much. And while it is really, really excellent at that, at not spilling, unfortunately, it promotes a sucking behavior which is not developmentally appropriate for the age of a child having a cup. So between, or certainly after 12 months, we want to get babies away from that suckling motion. So no pacifiers, no bottles, no sippy cups. Prolonged sucking really can promote strong muscle strength in areas where we don't want it, which can affect our overall oral and dental health and the way that our palate and mouth is shaped, which can lead to later issues later on in life with articulation, sleep, and cause lots of other bad problems. So avoid the sippy cup, go to the open mouth cup. If your child is already 12 months old and you're having a really hard time, or they've already been introduced to a sippy cup because you didn't know, and you're having a really hard time dropping that sippy cup and getting to an open mouth cup, you can use a cup with a straw as a transitional or intermediate step. Or if your child's old enough, I encourage you to reach out to your pediatrician. If they have the developmental capability to do so, it may be an option to just cold turkey the bottle or the sippy cup, because they will eventually pick up a cup and drink if they need to. So again, try to just nip that in the bud early on by starting off with an open mouth cup and avoiding the sippy cup altogether. We're going to talk more about in the next episodes how to transition to whole milk and really if that's necessary. And then also to talk about how to drop a bottle when your baby's 12 months old. So between now and 12 months, this episode is really just focusing on how to use an open mouth cup. I hope you found this episode super helpful. If you have any questions or concerns, or if you're another parent with any cool tips or tricks, please leave them below for the community.
Thank you for watching the Beehive Doc Talks with Dr. Blair Rolnick. For more episodes and her practice, visit BeKindPediatrics.com, and don't forget to subscribe for more parenting tips wherever you get your podcasts. This information is for educational purposes only. It is not medical advice. Always seek medical advice from a qualified physician.